What up, everybody? Since the finale of Power Book 2 Ghost last month, there's been a lot of news going on around the Power universe. So in this video, I'm going to break down everything that's been going on recently and what it could mean moving forward. Starting with the Raising Kanan Season 4 release date. We're almost halfway through the month of November and still no official release date or trailer. The official Season 4 teaser dropped over 2 months ago on September 5th, the day before Part 2 of the final season of Ghost dropped. But I think I have a solid guess on the Season 4 release date, and that's January 24th. This date will be significant for a couple reasons. First being that Starz is currently promoting the final season of Outlander that premieres November 11th and is supposed to have 8 episodes. So looking at a calendar and also factoring in the 1 week break that Starz normally has at some point in the season, this means the final episode of Outlander should be scheduled to air on January 17th. This would set it up for Raising Kanan Season 4 to premiere the very next week on January 24th. And this would be why we haven't got an official trailer yet, because they normally don't release the trailer until about a month before the show airs. And if January 24th is the release date, this would mean we're still a couple months away. But like I said, that's only part of the reason why I think Raising Kanan Season 4 will premiere on January 24th. The main reason why I think Raising Kanan Season 4 will debut on January 24th is because of the recent 50 Cent and Omari Hardwick beef, if that's what you want to call it. Either though, I think there's a strong possibility that they're just trolling us and Ghost will return on the final season of Force and be in a future spinoff. But either way, Omari has been in interviews for years complaining about his pay on Power, saying he didn't make what he thought he was worth, and saying that he also didn't agree with the ending of the show either. And this has been going on for a minute before 50 finally responded. The first response was through a social media post after Omari went on a podcast. Then the most recent shots were taken by 50 in an interview with The Breakfast Club, where he said that he feels like Omari overvalues himself and mentioned that nobody is drawn to any of his new projects like that, and pretty much he's still known for his role as Ghost on Power. And when asked if they were still cool, 50 said no, because Omari makes it sound like it's 50 who's not paying him and that it was 50's fault that he was underpaid. With that said, Omari Hardwick is about to be in a major movie on Paramount Plus called Star Trek Section 31. And the release date for Star Trek Section 31 is none other than January 24th, 2025. And putting the premiere of Raising Kanan Season 4 on the same day as Omari Hardwick's new movie is a play in the 50 Cent playbook. Dropping Raising Kanan on the same day as Omari's new movie to compete to see who gets better viewership. And like I said, this is directly from 50 Cent's playbook going all the way back to 2007. 50 was about to release what I believe was his third album at Interscope titled Curtis. However, the label wasn't giving him the same promotion as they had in the past. So 50 took it upon himself to build up his own promo. He did this by targeting Kanye West, who is also set to release his third album titled Graduation. 50 then bumped the release date of Curtis back a week to compete directly against Kanye and getting plenty of free promo in the process. Either though Kanye did outsell 50 in the end, it's still looked at like a genius move by 50 to this day. And now that Omari is about to make his biggest movie debut yet as part of the historic Star Trek franchise, could we see 50 use the same tactic? In 2007, it was about the competition, but equally about the marketing scheme. I think this time it will be more about the competition for 50, because the debate is who made Power. Was it 50 or was it Omari? Similar to the Brady versus Belichick conversation in football. Personally, I feel like everybody played their part to make Power the success it is today. But the other parallel to 2007 is the issues that 50 was having with his label and 50's current issues with Starz. 50 also brought up in that interview the new Fat Joe talk show that's airing on Starz, and how Starz brought that show in to compete with Power, thinking they could make Fat Joe's show for a fraction of the cost and still reach the same demographics. And even if there isn't the same amount of subscribers, they will be making a profit because of the cost output. Because it was said recently in an interview with Michael Rainey and Gianni Paolo that Power Book 2 Ghost cost $13 million an episode to film. Another reason why Starz brought in Fat Joe to compete with Power, and one of the main reasons why Book 2 was canceled. But with that said, we also know that 50 has invested heavily into the city of Shreveport, Louisiana. He said when he first showed up to the city, it was like a set because there was nobody around. So 50 bought a giant recording studio in Shreveport, as well as several businesses and properties throughout the city that can be used as sets. And this is big because one of the reasons why there was that $13 million an episode budget is because they had to shut down streets and rent spots in New York City, which is probably the most expensive city in the whole country. Then there's also the fact that 50 has his new TV station coming out this winter called 50 Cent Action. And the key to keep in mind about this television network is the fact that 50 has partnered with Lionsgate to help establish this network. And this is a key because Lionsgate is also partial owner of the Power franchise alongside Starz. And recently at the beginning of the year, Lionsgate and Starz separated. So basically, Lionsgate cut ties with Starz and partnered with 50. Either though I think that Lionsgate is still involved with the Power franchise. 50 also said in one of the interviews that Power would be on his network. So this could mean old episodes would air on his network. Possibly new episodes airing simultaneously at the same time as they air on Starz. Or could it mean future Power spinoffs will air on his network? Getting me to the viral post from Gianni Paolo the other day with several Power actors in the video. I'll say the characters' names: Tariq, Jannard, Diana, and Tommy. And at the end of the video, Joseph Sikora, who plays Tommy, said something about a spinoff coming in 2026. There was also another video by Michael Rainey Jr. where he was in the car with Braden, Jannard, and Diana, and he said something about going to the first day on set. Unfortunately, both of these posts were just trolling us. All these actors were actually in Pennsylvania encouraging people to vote. Johnny even cleared this up on a post later on that announced that a spinoff was officially coming in 2026. But with that said, even though they were just trolling us, I also think they were giving us some truth at the same time. Because there will definitely be a spinoff on this current timeline, likely coming in 2026. Like I've said in other videos, that Starz has already announced that there are multiple Power spinoffs in development, and Origins is the only one they've announced so far. And with Tariq, Braden, and Diana all still being alive, it's almost guaranteed that they will be a part of it. And the fact that they're still going to these events as a group and with other Power characters lets us know that they're all still connected. And because they didn't have any dead characters with them and Force is done airing, does this also mean that Tommy and Jannard will both survive the final season of Force? And in the interview with The Breakfast Club, 50 also mentioned that he'll be working with Taraji P. Henson in the near future, as she's been cast to play the lead role in his new show based upon his book he wrote called The Accomplice. There's been talk that The Accomplice will be a part of the Power universe, but this is only speculation, and to my knowledge, this hasn't been confirmed. Either though personally, I do hope it's true, and The Accomplice is part of the Power universe and crosses over with the other shows. And the final thing I want to mention is non-Power related news, but still connected somewhat, and that is Big Meech getting released from prison. Because of that, there's been a lot of speculation that he will make a cameo in BMF Season 4. I would love to see that, but something important to keep in mind as far as I know is BMF hasn't been renewed for Season 5. 50 had once talked about BMF expanding with spin-offs like Power, but Terry Flannery taking that picture with Supreme's son might have changed that. But hopefully, now that Meech is out of prison, they can sit down and work something out to make that happen. And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.